Hello, everyone listening to me today. My name is Imoh-Ita, and I'm really passionate about helping young people getting the right knowledge with relationships and choosing a partner and everything. So today's video is going to be probably about 3 to 5 minutes where I just want to speak to young adults, both male and female. And I know that at this point in time that you're single, with a lot of stories going on the social media space where marriages seem to be crashing, there are a lot of problems and commotion. There are also marriages and relationships that are doing great. So I just want to give some tips today about you as a single person. What are the things you should have in mind? And I'm coming, I'm taking this from the angle of both male and female, and also from the angle of being neutral and professional. So as a single person, I encourage singles to self-discover. You need to understand exactly who you are and how you show up in life. You need to know the things that make you who you are and what you want to achieve in life. You need to build yourself mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, in your occupation, in your intellect, and in your spirituality, among other things. You see, we are so carried away with the good feelings of relationships that we forget that our lives are not just about relationships, that we have so many other things that make us who we are, and even in that marriage that you intend to be in, that you're going to show up exhibiting each and every one of these areas. But sometimes we tend to focus on just the relationship and how to make it work, that we neglect other things. Understand yourself better. What are your triggers? What are those things that if it happens, you spiral out of control, you get upset, you get annoyed? What are your patterns? What are those things you sequentially keep doing when a trigger occurs? What values do you have for your life? What's that thing that each day you wake up, that core standard of thing that pushes you to take action in whatever direction? What dreams do you have? What dreams? I mean, everybody came to earth to exhibit something, to promote something, to be of purpose in an area. What are your strengths? What are you good at? What are your weaknesses? What are those things that you're struggling with? Because you see this relationship and marriage thing, right? One decision, especially if it's a wrong one, can marry you for life. Because we are humans and we thrive on connection. And because we thrive on connection, when that is destabilized, it affects every other area. There's a ripple effect. And some people feel that if they fail at relationship, that means they're not good enough in any area. And that's not true. But you can also have a great relationship and it makes your life beautiful. You begin to thrive in all other areas of your life. And that's why this is a very crucial step. It's not something to be taken lightly. I need to actually ask, are you ready for love? Because many people want love. They want to have, I have that person that takes care of me, listens to my needs, understands me and all of that. But do you know if you are ready to receive that kind of love? Do you know that there are people that love comes, but they don't know how to handle it, and so they sabotage it with a character, an attitude, and all of that? Do you have the mental maturity that it takes? And this mental maturity also means emotional intelligence. It's not everything that you spiral out of control. Do you have that capacity to regulate your emotion and also to understand another person's emotion? What are your expectations when it comes to relationship and marriages? Do you know that your definition of relationship and definition of marriage can be very different from the person that you want to date or the person you're catching cruise for? And once the definitions differ widely, then it obviously means that the beliefs around those definitions are different. And what it means is that there's likely going to be a clash. So how aligned are these expectations that you have for a relationship or a partner or your marriage? How aligned are they with that person that you're eyeing or that you're dating or you're probably even engaged to or even married to? Do you know the things that are non-negotiable for you, meaning that they are deal breakers? If these things are present or absent, the relationship cannot stand. Do you know what those are for you? Because I have a quote: if you don't have a plan for the kind of relationship that you want, someone else will plan it for you. And the tricky part is that you may not like the results. Many of us go into relationships expecting the other person to lead, and it happens a lot when it comes to ladies and gentlemen. The ladies think, okay, I'm told that the men are the head, they're the ones to lead, and so the man takes the tune of how the relationship should go. You have no input because you yourself, you don't even know what you want in a relationship, so you take it as it comes. Sometimes it works. The man detects the tune and she follows it and says, okay, he's older, so I'm sure he knows best, let me just follow like that. But when two people are self-aware and understand what they want, it stands a better chance of standing long-term because you're able to marry your ideas, you're able to marry your expectations together, you're able to merge it to make something beautiful. What are your negotiables? What are those things that, well, I can overlook it if it doesn't happen and all of that? Because sometimes some people keep their negotiables in such a way that it's so rigid, things that should be negotiable becomes a non-negotiable for them, and it becomes so rigid and fixated that the relationship struggles. What about the family that you're both from? What patterns are each of you bringing into the relationship? Did you know that was a thing? If you didn't, you know today. Who is going to bend to whose pattern? Are you both going to come together and decide to change these patterns and form a new one? Or are you going to put your leg down and say, this is how my father used to do it, this is how my mother used to do it? What inner unhealthy traits does abundance magnify in you or your partner? So let me break that down. You know this saying that they say when somebody has money, it magnifies who they really are. People say rich people are wicked, but do you know poor people can be wicked too? It's a mindset thing. It's a mindset thing. It's a belief thing. It's a value thing. It's the way they see the world thing. So there's some people that when they have so much money, they all of a sudden become so intense, either in their character of the things that they do, the habits that they have, that just gets so heightened and all. Take example now. A man is in his let's say early 30s. He has a low-paying job. He now meets his understanding girlfriend. They get married. And then 10 years down the line, he finds himself in an oil servicing company. He becomes MD of somewhere. And all of a sudden, his preferences for women change. And he'll be like, after everything that she did for him, she stayed with him when he was down. Now he's up. He has turned his eyes away from her. He's looking at outside. Do you know that it is very possible that the kind of person that he really desires, his income and his mindset could not carry it. He admired from afar, that's the kind of lady I'd want to. But he saw somebody who understood him in that level that he was in and gave him a chance. But now that he sees he can afford anything, he now begins to long for that person that he really desired. And that's why it's so important that you right now, whether you're poor, you're half poor, midway poor, getting small money, design the kind of person that you truly desire. So that when you've made the money, that person is still desirable to you. It's not something like, let me finally go and look for my spec. So when there's a lot of abundance, it tends to magnify certain recessive traits that because there was no money, those traits didn't really come up. Another thing you need to look into is who are you accountable to? Who is your partner accountable to? Who is that person that you can go and talk to and say, look, there's this, my challenge with my partner is that this. Do they have somebody they can defer to, that you can go to the person and the person calls your partner to order, calls you to order and say, look, this, it doesn't look right. Especially somebody who is mature, who is unbiased, and who is wise. Because it's not every older person that is wise, not every older person that knows how to advise. And that's why we insist on meeting professionals who understand the basis and foundation of great relationships. Right? So, who are you accountable to? Which mentors do you listen to? And I'm not even talking about just listening. I'm talking about implementing their superior, unbiased wisdom. Do you have such mentors in your life? So as a single person, it's not just about the good feelings. It's not just about, I'm of age, I have a job. It's about knowing yourself and knowing if you are actually ready for love. I have a quiz that you can get your score immediately. I have an academy that can give you detailed tutelage on relationship sustenance, designing your partner, and so much more. And I believe this is time for you to take this opportunity because you're seeing this video. And I said 5 minutes and we're at 10 minutes. So I'm Georgina Imoh-Ita. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Cheers.